Hey Hada, what's happening in Melee? We are live at twitch.tv/cypher0033 this time. We were on Hada's Twitch last week to talk about the Melee happenings when we did our Shine preview, when you were taking all the Jmook Sheik energy and willing a win to happen. But then you were losing so much that you said, you know what, I'm actually getting all the bad vibes out. All the bad vibes I'm putting onto my Sheik so that Jmook can shine, Jflex can shine, literally at shine. And once you know, Jmook did something that I was not sure was going to happen this year. I thought maybe Hungrybox can keep a perfect record versus Jmook for the first year, but silly me, because Jmook is proving to be one of the best adapters after set to set, losing a game 10 grand finals double heading set against Hungrybox at Wave Dash barely, not even a month ago, and then turns it around at Shine and 3-0s Hungrybox, and then moves on to actually lose the tournament. But that's just one thing that I wanted to kick off with. Hada, first of all, how are you, and your thoughts on Shine?
Hey, it was a great time. So I think we talked about it right before the official recording started, but top 12 is fun. I think top 12 is a great way to give, your Sunday audience a little bit more Melee. And it's you get crazy streams and a top 8 atmosphere feeling for sets like Lucky and Mech. And so if it's to talk about, get the elephant out of the room real quick,
What are you doing?
To be fair, I'm going to give him credit. He just didn't execute on the idea fast enough. If he would have immediately sent it after he hit that up air,
yes,
the spacing was perfect, the angle was perfect, the DI was perfect for it. He just took too long to decide to send it with the Falcon Punch. And oh my God, what would have been the greatest debut for a top 8 performance at a super major with the basically sacred combo coming out from Mech would have been absolutely ridiculous. But it just took too long to decide, and then Joey hit him with the reverse 3-0.
I respect the Falcon Punch attempt by Mech. What I will say is, after having watched it back a couple of times, I've decided that I liked the weight. But the thing is that Mech actually fired off the Falcon Punch a little too soon, because the punch goes off as Lucky is below him. So my vantage point is, you know what? You're delaying to make it even more insane, because if he came out right away with the Falcon Punch, Lucky would have done the right thing and just not double jumped right away. That would have been a pretty projected action, been easy to react to on Lucky's part and go, okay, well, I'm just going to fall and let this happen, and then go from there to continue to recover. But a lot of people dragging Mech for not doing the quote unquote right thing. But when you're a Falcon player, even if you're someone like Wizzy, at the end of the day, you're still going to be the kind of person who just likes to do side B out of the corner sometimes, do the little down B out of the corner sometimes, just like do the goober option. And if that means you got to let the Falcon Punch fly, salutes in chat for a missed Falcon Punch to punch your ticket into top 8. Did not happen, but I love it anyway. And Mech, you're already showing everybody your amazing skills on Saturday by making your way through top 64 and having a really good performance there. So here's hoping Mech is able to get the redemption, maybe a redemption Falcon Punch. Sure. No, but it's hard to do in tournament. It's so hard to do.
Yeah. And we were also talking about in the previous to the recording was Jmook. Jmook getting that the adaptability. God, that's a hard word. Adaptability.
I know.
Coming from tournament to tournament, from set to set, and we saw that in Winners side. We had a Jmook versus Axe Winners semis, and Axe going on an amazing run, I believe, for a top 4 performance.
Yes.
And Jmook loses their first set, and then on commentary, I believe it was Toph and Vish were saying how Jmook, it takes sometimes just as simple as one set. You lose to Jmook once, and all of a sudden you turn around, he's 3-0ing you. And that's exactly what happened in loser's side, where Jmook came out and it looked like he had solved the matchup in those short few hours that it took him to get back to Axe for that third place match, and absolutely made him look silly, and then finished off at a second place finish under the likes of Golden Guardian Zain. So Jmook going on an absolutely outrageous run here at Shine.
So just to be clear for everyone who's following along, and I don't want to overcorrect you too hard, Hada, the Jmook versus Axe first set and winners, it was actually winners quarters, happened on Saturday, and Axe was having the tournament of his life on Saturday for top 64, for top 48, going through the likes of B-Bats, a Peach player, shoutouts to B-Bats, going through Slug, an Icy's player, and finally 3-0ing Jmook, who everybody is saying Jmook is the hotness. Jmook doesn't lose to anybody except for people like Zain and Mango. And Axe is definitely not top 29, okay? Axe is playing at top 20, at top 15 level right now, especially after SmashCon and Shine top 8ing in both of those tournaments, right? But Axe is going through traditionally bad matchups for Pikachu. Yeah. To the point where people in the Melee Stats Discord are saying, oh, is Axe playing as Fox for all of these? Because it's just so unbelievable that Axe could possibly 3-1 Slug, who's such an amazing ice climber. It's the best ice climbers in the world, most likely. And then 3-0ing Jmook, no shot. How's he doing that with Pikachu? And then on Sunday, it all changes. And Zain said this, and who also we should say for the record, I'm acknowledging that Zan is also how you pronounce his name for reals. But Zain on the Radio Melee podcast said, I'm good with either or. So I'm probably going to stick with Zain just for my own sanity. But I want it to let the record show I acknowledge the Zan. But getting back to when Zain knows that he's going to be facing Axe in winter semis for top 8, flies out Swift, the other top 2 Pikachu, alpha. Okay? Flies out Swift just to practice in the morning and afternoon leading up to top 12, because our Melee top 12 was after the ultimate top 12. So they had all day Sunday to get that up and going. But Zain on the Radio Melee podcast said Jmook got some practice against Swift too. So that doesn't surprise me per se, that
that might be the ticket right there.
That when Jmook and Axe met again, that Jmook was like, okay, I've actually played against Pikachu for a couple of hours today, so I kind of know what I'm doing now. and Axe definitely cooled down for Sunday. If they kept playing the tournament on Saturday, Axe would have won. Like, he was playing so well and going through all these bad matchups for Pikachu and killing it. And, you know, that winner's quarter set again, where Axe 3-0s Jmook, just making it look like, yeah, Sheik could never possibly beat Pikachu, even though Sheik has all these tools that invalidate our favorite electric rat. So I'm really, really hyped about Axe's recent return to form, if you will. A former top 5 player, okay? In 2019, I believe Axe was ranked top 5. So this is what I wanted to see.
Third or something. Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to see Axe return to form, and I was definitely not sure because Hungrybox also struggled during the pandemic, also struggles with online, but then brought it back. And then Axe was still not quite bringing it back. You know, at Pound, he places outside of top 8 and Hungrybox places second. So I'm going, well, how long is it going to take for Axe? Is this maybe it for Axe? Is Pikachu truly not part of the meta anymore? But to answer my question, to answer all of the Pika pack, Axe is still just that kind of player, can still do it with Pikachu, can place really well at majors like Shine and SmashCon. Top 8, again, 4th place here and 5th place at SmashCon. So big kudos to Axe. And I know we haven't really talked about Zain actually winning the whole dang thing over Jmook. A great game 5 set in grand finals. I wanted it to go to the second set so bad, but Zain finally doing what you and I have wanted and predicted him to do this whole time. Although you did predict Jmook, I predicted Zain. Let's just sorry. The point is that Zain finally back on top again of the Melee world, taking first place here at Shine 2022. Big congrats and GG's. So those are most of my thoughts there that I've been able to get out. So Hada, what else did you want to add to this particular bracket?
Yeah, I mean, the bracket was great. Jmook Zain just feels like such a modern take on Melee. You've
Yes.
seen the Mango versus HBox. We've seen the Armada versus HBox Mango, and that seems like, for lack of a better term, you've seen it before. We've seen these players. Yes, there's adaptations. Yes, there's implementation of new techniques, like we saw in their SmashCon set with Mango implementing the Jiggly Poke strategy, which got revolutionized by KJH a couple years back, but really it hasn't been used to that level of mastery until very recently. However, when it comes down to Zain versus Jmook, it is literally people who got into Melee from the doc. The documentary came out and they're like, "Oh, let's start playing Melee. This looks really cool." And now they're facing off for potentially first and second in the world, and facing off for championing super majors. And it's a very modern look on how Melee is going to look to be played. Um, Incredible defensive game, ASDI into grounded tech, like we saw with Jmook getting that winning stock against Leffen, the instant ASDI down tech on an up smash to grab back throw, great crazy edge guard. And we're seeing that in droves from players like Zain and Zain, IBDW, and Jmook. And those are the guys who are really pushing the boundaries on what Melee really looks like it should be, looks like on how it should be played right now. And so it's so exciting, and it's so, I guess, refreshing that even like from the perspective of a new Melee fan, you're like, wow, this game's insane. This game is on a whole new level, almost to the point where it seems like it would be like difficult to grasp as a new player. Like, I don't want to get into that if it's that difficult to get into, but it still has that Melee-esque allure that I want to do that. I want to be that good. I want to move my character that fast. I want to just look at my opponent's face and say, no, I will not die yet. I don't care how hard you work. I'm not going to die yet. Or I'm going to combo you in a way that you've never seen before. And you're going to die in ways that you weren't even ready to die yet. You weren't even ready to lose that stock. And so it's just such a cool time to be a Melee fan.
When I was watching that grand final set between Zain and Jmook in particular, the amount of discipline that each of them has, because they're running through each other and dash dancing. Literally, the characters are on top of each other, and I'm going, somebody do something! But they're each waiting for the other to throw out an option at point blank range. And I know that it's not actually plausible to react in that specific set, but or when I'm talking about the interaction where you're literally running through each other, you can't necessarily react. What I'm saying is that they're each going, I'm going to go ahead and assume or read or game sense, however you want to phrase it. Sorry, Lod, I'm butchering all of your golden pathway to improvement words, but we're talking about how each player is so deepening the level of reading into the other person's actions that they are on screen looking like they're just, I don't know, two random NPCs kind of stuck on each other in a different game. But there's so much happening, and you could really feel the calculation that Jmook and Zain both have. Whereas with Mango versus Zain, it's always really fun because you know how much Mango wants to just run in. But when Mango plays slightly disciplined, it's some of the best Melee you'll ever see when it's Mango versus Zain. But I felt it was almost Leffen-esque, the amount of calculation and precision on Jmook's part, and Leffen also showing off that chic earlier at Battle BC4 this year in June at 2022, so Battle BC4, where he beats Zain in grand finals there. So I'm really excited to see another Jmook Zain set, and maybe we'll get to see it at Transition, the Ludwig Invitational. So this is happening over my birthday weekend, so shout outs to me. Basically, the Ludwig
Invitational. Wait, me too. Wait, when's your birthday?
What the frick? Wait.
Let's say the same. We're saying the same. Let's say it at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
October 22.
Woo! Birthday twins.
22?
Yeah, yes, I'm October 22nd.
Let's go.
That's crazy.
Let's go. What the Wait, were you born in 95? What the fuck?
I was born in 96.
Oh, I was born in 95.
Yo, BSM pod members, you just saw that happen.
What dude, this whole time I was like, Hada's just like such a cool person. Why would he keep doing this with me? And now I know. We're just Irish twins, however you want to phrase it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When you're done peopling, you have enough room in your heart for me. I'm just so appreciative. Oh
Stop.
my gosh. Shout outs to us. We're going to definitely not be commentating the Ludwig Invitational, but shout outs to Ludwig. Shout outs to not only doing it for Melee, shout outs to Old as well. They're getting an invitational as well. Top 24 players in each game automatically invited in, and we'll go over those names. But I also wanted to explain that weekend is happening in Vegas. They're also having a last chance qualifier where basically every other ranked player is going to show up to this and try to get into the 8 last spots for the invitational. So 24 invited players, and then 8 more will get in through the qualifier. So in other words, if you top 8 at the last chance qualifier tournament, you're in, and then you play out the 32-man bracket in each game. And that's crazy. Hada, I will let you continue to roll this in while I figure out how to spell invitational on the overlay.
Yeah, I mean, what's cool is they've officially released the list, and you had to go through because, spoiler alert, one of the first list names I'm going to read off this list is our homie J Flex over here at All Chat Esports.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to go through basically an application process in order to get in. And what's really cool about this list is the closer you look at it, the closer you see some names that you really wouldn't expect. So I'm going to go down the list, and I'm going to give you guys a deeper look at some of my favorite players on this list. So, of course, we have Texas Falco, Albert, Alex 19, Asashi, so SoCal Falco that I've run into and unranked a couple times. Very, very solid. Azel, Bad Boy, Beef Chang, Bobby Big Balls, Bonfire 10, one of the best Sheiks to come out of the, I believe, the New England region.
Yep, New England, yep.
Casper, California Fox, CPU Zero, my favorite puff. I'm going to be honest. CPU Zero is a god.
Where's the love for Palpa or Panko? What?
Panko had a great run.
At Shine.
I will say that much. Absolute legendary run at Shine. We got Dark Genix. Shout outs to Justin. Dawson. What actually, I don't know. Dawson might also be my favorite puff.
But then we have the best EU puff, Solo Battle, who always has the nuttiest puff tech. I mean,
I'm so excited to see some CPU Zero and Solo Battle sets. Those are going to be amazing.
It's going to be awesome.
Mexico, E-Toss, Face Roll winning the online Mango Fan, or the crypto backed tournament that everyone who got top 8 got at least $500 in Bitcoin. But Face Roll ended up winning that and got a free trip to Big House. So got an all expense paid trip to Big House. Fist Mexico, who I believe is one of the best Falcons to come out of Mexico. Franz. So Franz, young guy, still think he's in high school. I think he's probably in his latter 2 years of high school. Best Dr. Mario on the planet right now. And so really excited to see some more Doc representation. Free Palestine. Sheik coming out from Ohio. Second best Sheik in Ohio, but best Palestinian player that I know of. So shout outs to Millie. Frenzy, Ghetto War Machine, or Grown Working Man 420, J-Cam, J Flex, Jim Bob Me Boy. I don't know who Jim Bob Me Boy is, but I'm hoping for an excellent performance from them. Justice, JV Wentworth.
Let's go.
JV Wentworth, the secret best J Chic. JV Wentworth 877 Smash Now on Twitter. Calvar, Crike, Curve, Logan actually getting top 3 at the Salt Mine this evening, taking a set over Moki.
I will also note that Crike is quickly becoming a top 5 Marth in the world as well. Shout outs to Crike.
Yeah, Crike coming out from the PGH region, it's the Pittsburgh region. So shout outs to big man Crike. Lucky, Lunar Dusk, one of the best ICs after Slug right now. It's probably Lunar Dusk, MOF, ENFP. Those are probably the in contention ICs right now.
And the most random person on this list is Matt.Zeb. I'm sorry to cut you off, Hada, but this is the most random person. I don't care if Spud is the most random person. We'll get to Spud in a few minutes, but Matt.Zeb has more or less exited the Melee scene and does a couple of behind the scenes things, just a few, but what in the world? Matt.Zeb, you're going to enter the last chance qualifier of all things? Oh, please show me the Falco sauce. Anyway, I will let you continue.
Yeah, Matt.Zeb actually was ranked in Colorado for many years.
Yes.
And then I believe was ranked very briefly in New England.
Yes.
So Matt.Zeb, very, very good Falco in their own right. Definitely a memey guy. Super great to have in your corner behind the scenes. great person to have and a super hard worker. So really excited to see Matt come out for another event. Maybe as the Ices player. I don't know too much about Maybe. I have to look into them. Meds, Mega Christmas, Mech, Miranda, the Ganon player, a very, very solid Ganon. Up there with Cal 5 for me, with probably Hidden Boss Ganon mains. So it's probably like none, no fluxes, and then probably some combination of Miranda, Cal 5, something like that.
And Prometheus,
MOF.
let's not forget, also very good.
Shout outs Prometheus.
MDVA Ganon. I'll let you continue.
Mm. Yeah, MOF or Master of Flavor, if you didn't know what that stood for. Floridian Ice Climbers player, very, very solid. Mop Money, Null, Ober, Omar, Percival, who doesn't have a main associated with them. So I would love to see more about Percival.
The mystery.
the mystery player in Percival. Phoenix, the Marth player, Polish. Priscent coming out from, was it the Netherlands or is that Denmark?
No, I want to say somewhere in the Scandinavian Isles. I'm pretty sure, but I can't remember 1,000%.
Yeah, I'll have to. Someone will tell me in the comments. I'm sure where person is
or in
from.
chat. We have one viewer. Shout outs.
Shout outs. So Quaff, Quest, Ralph, who is quickly becoming one of the best Pikachus on the planet right now. Recently took a NorCal local with Pikachu, I believe, beating Azel. So. Yeah, Ralph showing Pikachu swag in teams, I believe is how it started, showing that Pikachu might secretly be one of the best teams characters in the game. But I would love to see Ralph's Pikachu come out and show some stuff in singles. Another hidden pocket pick like player is Rishi with the Donkey Kong. Rishi, of course, winning the nightclub this past week. So first Marth to win the nightclub. We have Salt, SFOP. And so what I love to see is, I was talking about this during Salt Mine commentary, is people who have lived in Bobby's apartment just kind of seem to be turbo crazy task combo fiends. So you have Bobby, Salt, and SFOP, Spoonful of Pasta, who've all lived in Bobby's apartment, all going to be at the Ludwig Smash Invitational Last Chance qualifier. So you're definitely going to see some crazy melee coming out from those three players. Shabo, who is formerly one of the best foxes come out from Illinois, was ranked only behind Zamu on the Champagne power rankings for many years. So amazing in the Fox Ditto, and of course a great player coming out from the Midwest.
Ooh, and shout outs to the Fox and Friends. Fox and Friends, newest melee podcast out there in the world. You should go check that out. Shabo and Zamu co-host that.
Let's go. Yeah, that they're known for there were many years where the Champagne power ranking, which was actually a very powerful power ranking, because they hosted the Show Me Your Moves and God, there was another tournament series.
House of Pain? Yeah.
House of Pain and Show Me Your Moves series in Champaign, Illinois, which were actually the longest running regional series, because it was the first regional to start when Melee came out, was the House of Pain series. Or no, the Show Me Your Moves series. So the top 4, top 5 were all very, very talented Fox players. And so they would just play Fox Dittos all day. And that was the joke coming out from Champaign, is like, oh, all you guys do is play Fox Dittos. All you guys do is play Fox Dittos. So super funny. So Shroom coming out for the Last Chance qualifier as well. Shroom still's got it, man. Shroom's still very talented, of course, with the Sheik and the Marth dual man. I believe their last performance played mostly Marth, but of course the Sheik's still very good. Skurzo, the King of Chicago, coming out again. Skurzo being a very well-traveled player this past season, so love to see that they're still staking their putting their neck on the line, betting out to see how far they can really push their melee career, because they're an amazing player and I know they're going to do really well. Solo battle, Sunsei not quickly marked with the Canadian flag, but that's quite right.
Yeah, that is a mistake. Oops.
Yeah, we got Spark. Spud showing up for the first time in what feels like 3-4 years.
Yes.
Spud, the best Marth to come out of the Oceanic region, the Australia, New Zealand. I believe he's from New Zealand, if I remember correctly,
yes.
But I could be wrong. So that's the Australian flag, so it's a little bit wrong. Swift, of course, the perfect Pikachu practice, as well as the current highest ranked Pikachu player in the world. Triff coming out from Spain. Haven't seen Triff in years. I love Triff. It's a good friend of mine. Wally, the Zain Slayer, and finishing us off for the Ludwig Smash Invitational qualifier list is Zamu, again, the second host for the Fox and Friends Melee podcast.
And this is sort of to provide correct context. This is what you would expect to see at either Big House or Genesis, and virtually no other tournament. Now, we have some super awesome online weeklies such as the Salt Mine, where you can see a lot of high level Melee players come out and show their stuff, but even something like that is limited by the fact that it's not open to the entire world. Whereas with this list, it's not only a lot of great North American players, which you love to see, and especially players like Sunsei who don't get to travel as much. I hope that Elliot makes it out to this. I guess maybe this is the final list, because I wasn't really reading that hard all of Aiden's tweets about, hey, did we get all the top players, regged, or did you reach out to me to try to get regged for this? I wasn't really paying attention, but what I am paying attention to, who got invited to this tournament, because even after the 8 people who come out of the the last chance qualifier bracket have to go up against the likes of Aklo, who is still really sick with it with the Fox, and also the Pocket Link. If you want to try to take him to Final Destination and you're playing Marth, you're going to get some boomerangs and bombs in your face. Then you got Amsa, finally another Amsa bracket, which I love seeing Amsa at any event, period. So please Amsa, play well. Same with Axe. Oh my gosh, there's not going to be any doubles for this event, unfortunately, and we don't get to see an Amsa Axe team up, but that's okay. We'll get to see them play in singles for this event. Just think about how many of these players are going to potentially go 0-2 in the final bracket. I was just saying. And then we have Fiction and Ginger. Now, Fiction has more recently been Falco, so for some of you who are a little bit behind, yes, Fiction plays as Falco. That is not a typo. Fiction's been playing Falco pretty consistently since, I would want to say, the middle of last year, maybe around October or so. And Ginger coming out of Michigan, and then you got Hungrybox, of course, IBDW, of course. And speaking of IBDW, we know that limited information that IBDW has been having a lot of different things on his plate that he's dealing with, especially related to his hands, and that has been preventing him from going to things like Shine. It's going to prevent him from going to Riptide. Hopefully IBDW will be at Big House, but if not, this is later on in the month of October, and hopefully we'll get to see IBDW for real at the Ludwig Invitational. And then you have Jmook, who of course is absolutely earning and keeping the top 3 rank in the world, and Josh Man coming out of Australia, dude, which is super cool. Then you have Kadoran coming out of West Coast, SoCal, and everybody's second favorite Marth in the world. Crudo coming out of Florida. Leffen finally doing a Melee event again. Let's go. And this is one of my favorites, because how many times can you expect Laud to go out to a tournament in the era of Laud being like a freaking doctor, dude? But Laud is going out to an invitational. Get that bag, Laud. Let's go. And then we have Magi coming out of, I always want to say Texas, but it's Louisiana, right?
Louisiana. Yeah, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. And of course, what invitational would you want to ever do unless you have the GOAT Mango coming out of SoCal? People can't forget Norwalk is SoCal. Let's go. Moki coming out of Canada, as well as None. So I'm really excited. We have the 3 best Canadian players, but I also want to see Elliot too, please. I don't know if it's too late, but also Pipsqueak, who had some really high promising tournament performances while representing Melee Stats earlier this year at some of the other events, I want to say like late spring, early summer. But also another player who doesn't show up as much to a lot of events and tends to watch them live instead on Twitch is Plup, who I really want to see play well. I want to see Plup maybe even taking a tournament. Maybe this is the Plup tournament. Oh my gosh, that would shut the world down for a minute. You also have S2J coming out of SoCal, SFAT coming out of NorCal, and then you have Slug, who, by the way, another Ices coming out of Philly. I just love the fact that Slug is still able to make things happen in this current day of wobbling being banned, but also Lunar Dusk, maybe the other ICs who are going to this event. Shoutouts. And Wizrobe has been missing for a lot of events this year, but won Smash Factor 9 a couple of weeks ago. So big shoutouts to Wizrobe for coming back after months of not being able to play and winning an event over the likes of Meds and S2J and a lot of Mexican talent like Far and Eddie Mexico. So shout outs to Wizrobe. And then finally Zain, who is of course our ranked number 1 player, but will Zain be able to go against this entire basically this is like top 30 true top 30 level players all accounted for this one event, and that's what makes this crazy. In the first Ludwig Invitational, Hada, we have these players showing up just to go 0-2 potentially.
Yeah, I mean, when it really boils down to it, the only time we can really count on real money being involved, really good production value, and having a Melee tournament for the sake of the Melee community, you kind of have to put that Ludwig stamp of approval on it nowadays. Unfortunately, we don't have that depth of, our wallet size. Not a lot of, with the exception of Ludwig and the Ludwig extended cinematic universe, has that level of capability to foot that level of bill and to give those sort of pot bonuses and to really incentivize every single top player to be like, I'm really good at this game. This is my one time to prove it and my one time to really cash out on it. So I'm excited to see where all the chips fall here. I know, like you were saying, kind of jokingly, but Plup's been kind of sitting on his laurels recently. Plup is and will always be a top 5 level threat in the world. And I would really love to see where Plup falls with the likes of all these incredibly talented players. Fiction talks a good game. Fiction won We Need Some Space 3. Singles and doubles recently, so Fiction's looking great. Of course, IBDW taking some handheld breaks recently, but IBDW, your 2-time Summit champion. Josh Man recently making an incredibly deep run at some Canadian tournaments. S2J and Wizzy making great performances for Falcon, and like you said, Wizzy winning Smash Factor. Crudo making very deep runs as another Floridian talent, coming out with a very, very talented Sheik main. And of course, Lef, and you can never count out Big Lef.
Nope. Wombo William, huge Lef. Yeah. Like a 32-foot tall Lef, by the way. You see that on Reddit?
Oh, I saw that on Twitter. Yeah. Someone has a 32, like 33, 34-foot tall, Lef and cutout. And I'm like, that's a little obsessive. But, and all the Canadian talents, so Moki, Sunsei, None, all showing up to try to, put Canada on the map. And of course, all the Golden Guardians members really putting in a lot of work. None has made a lot of incredible performances at all the majors that they've attended recently. So can't count out all the Falcons either. So honestly, this is one of the very few times in the entire length of probably Melee's lifespan where you can say, I have no idea who's going to win this. Zero plan, zero thought. I would love J-Mook to win. I'm becoming an incredibly big J-Mook fan. But I don't know. If I had to put out, my best guess for who's going to win, all of these players have come close or have won tournaments this year. They've been in top 3s. Amsa won Fate. Axe has shown that they can still do it from this past performance at Shine. Josh Man. Kadoran is, getting ranked in the top 10. Slug, best ice climbers in the world. It's really hard to say. My heart says J-Mook, but my brain says I have no freaking clue, man. This is going to be an amazing tournament. Amazing tournament.
It would be very interesting to see a timeline where J-Mook is able to rise over the cream of the crop. Literally, you won't be able to play everyone in this theoretical bracket. They won't have a round robin of all 32 players playing all 32 players, but you will obviously get good matches going in from the first set. It's not even going to be, let's wait until winner semis top 8 to see a real match. No, you will see a real match in round 1. Somebody who is like Ginger, for example, who I'm not trying to make fun of. Ginger won the Function 2 this year over the likes of Moki and IBDW, although I don't think I don't think Ginger and IBDW actually played a Function 2, but it doesn't matter because IBDW was in the bracket, took a big fat L. It is what it is. Sorry, IBDW. But Ginger won the Function 2 and is also the kind of player where running into someone like Solo Battle and going, I know how to play Puff, and Solo Battle goes, do you though? And doing something like that's not normal. It's like, oh, Hungrybox doesn't do this. Dawson doesn't do this. Palba doesn't do this. Panko, the newest Puff on the block doesn't do this. What's going on? What's with all these tech chase rests? What's with the shield drop rests? Have you seen solo battle shield drop rests, Hada? It's crazy. So you could have someone like Ginger go into losers in round 1, and then what's going to happen? And that's why we're obviously going to get into this more as the event gets closer. I'm sure that 1 or 2 players are not actually going to be able to make it, blah, 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 kind of a thing. And then it'll be crazy to see who's getting in line to picking up scraps from the table, more or less. Like, please let me get to this last chance qualifiers in Vegas. And it's in Vegas. This is awesome. Shout outs to Ludwig. Shout outs to Aiden, the rest of the Mogul Moves team for making this event happen, because we were all, of course, hoping for the biggest major that Ludwig was teasing ever since he signed on to stream with YouTube instead of Twitch. That was one of the things he said in an interview afterwards. I think I want to say with Stans, where Ludwig says, yeah, I want to run the biggest Smash tournament ever. And that does include Ultimate as well. We're not going to talk about it, but all of the top 32 players essentially for Ultimate are going to be represented and accounted for. And I love that. Let's go MK Leo. And so we're not going to get the biggest Smash tournament ever, in the sense that it's not at a place like Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, where imagine Mango winning on a top 8 stage where the Eagles play. That would be wild. But we are probably going to hopefully get that next year. Yes, please, 2023. And instead, we are only able to get an invitational where literally top 30 players make up the entire top 32 bracket. That is so crazy, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
It's gonna be a great time, guys. It's gonna be on Jesse and I's birthday weekend, so wish us a happy birthday while you watch the Melee. And if
oh my gosh,
just do some just give some support over to the Mogul Moves team. All you have to do is probably watch a couple hours of Ludwig, and that'll probably do your time for the community. So keep supporting Ludwig, because Ludwig supports us, and that's really all it boils down to.
And then lastly, there was something else that I was trying to remember to get to, but we are definitely over on time. Okay, what we should give a little bit of love. I love All Chat Esports, and you should too, viewer and listener. All Chat Esports running Salt Mine, which happens every Thursday and is easily the biggest online bracket that happens every week. And if you want to see who is trying to actively play against top tier competition, players like Logan, who don't always show up to the Salt Mine, but Logan shows up because they're going to be going to last chance qualifier for the Ludwig Invitational. And so Logan's trying to get that practice. And of course, when you have players like Salt, Hungrybox, Moki, Mech, Bobby Big Balls, and J-Flex and Bones, who made up top 8 for tonight's Salt Mine, it's awesome. So shout outs to All Chat Esports. Much love. For Salt Mine 40, you actually have an interesting top 3. And Hada, I'll let you summarize. You were commentating this top 8.
I was. Myself and Yokai Nels were making up the commentary duo. But yeah, we had a great top 4, top 3. So we had Hungrybox and Logan in winners finals. Logan winning a upset victory 3-1 over Moist Moki. So that's going to make our winners finals. And of course, Hungrybox taking over Salt in a very dominant fashion. So Hungrybox with a 3-0 over Logan, then dropping down into losers. And then of course, Moki going on an absolute tear, 3-0 over Mech, 3-0 over Bobby Big Balls, and then 3-1 in the run back over Logan. And then Moki with a 3-1 loss to Hungrybox, but an absolutely electrifying set. Incredible performances coming out from Moki and HBox, doing a lot of great innovative stuff. Super enticing and entertaining set. So please go check out the All Chat Esports YouTube channel, or go to All Chat Esports on Twitch and check out the VODs there. So grand finals was an amazing set, 3-1 in HBox's favor. But guys, you have to check out the set for the whole story.
Yes, and something that you'll definitely want to hear if you're an HBox fan, Moki, stop rolling in. That's all you need to know. Now you're going to go, oh, because one of my favorite HBox things is don't roll in. Don't do it. And it do be that way sometimes. So in summary, Melee was very exciting this past weekend. Honestly, can't think of what's happening this upcoming weekend, but I know that the weekend after this is going to be Riptide, and Riptide was our first event back for a big open bracket coming out of lockdown for Melee and the pandemic. And the pandemic is still a thing. Please, everyone, continue to be safe. But Riptide happening again means that it'll be a full year, not truly because we had the Omicron variant and took off a couple of months of in-person again in the winter, but a full calendar year since we returned to big in-person events, Riptide being what brought us all back in 2021. And I'm looking forward to that because we're going to have another Ohio tournament where something random like Flash gunning for top 8. I would love to see something like that. I haven't seen Flash played at this stupid Melee event since Riptide. So if I have to wait a whole year, breakfast. No, that's Luca. My bad. I see fur and I go, breakfast? Sorry, I love breakfast more than Luca, but I'm allowed to play favorites. You're not, Hada. And I'm saying that if Flash has to top 8 at Riptide 2022 in order for me to see Flash play that sick Falco again, then so be it. But that is not coming out this weekend. That'll be the following weekend.
Right. Yeah, I mean, as an ex-Ohio player, I always love to support the Ohio scene. I will not be there. I might try to make a run at Big House. I am applying for commentary for Big House. So we're hoping to see me back in the city of Detroit. But other than that, guys, here's your Luca time. Here's your doggy time.
I will be at Big House. You catch me there. I got some exciting stuff in the work for the Big House, actually. And also, this podcast is coming up on episode 200. We are about 6 or so away, Hada. So I'm looking forward to... I have something planned for episode 200. I have something planned for not episode 200 that I was like, oh, this isn't going to work out for the big 200. So I guess I'll just let it go. But then it kind of came back a little bit. So just a tease for all of you. I have a potentially big guest coming on. It just won't be for episode 200. Instead, we'll do something else that's more selfish. I already have something planned for that, which I'm excited about. All kinds of nice big things planned. And for the Big House, you'll just have to wait and see. But for now, I will simply say, first of all, I'm going to the Big House. That is already confirmed. I've registered, and I will hopefully not go 0-2. Hopefully, I'll run into somebody that's bad like me. But even if that doesn't happen, I got stuff going on otherwise. Content, man. And Hada, if you're there, we're gonna talk, okay? If you're going, then you're coming with me, okay? We're gonna loop you in somehow. So
I got you.
I appreciate everybody for continuing to listen in and tune in. So if you want to see this in other platforms, just go to @BSM Pod on Twitter, and that's where you can find the link tree and everywhere else. And Hada, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Hey Hada on Twitch and Twitter. I just finished a challenge that I set for myself is how long will it take me to win one game of Unranked with every single character in the cast?
Oh my gosh.
And spoiler alert, it took me 4 hours. 30 of those minutes were just on Mewtwo. So there were some that took me one shot.
Oh yeah, one shot, one kill.
Yeah, I mean, I 3-stocked someone with Peach. I 3-stocked someone with Puff. I won my first game with Bowser, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can make a run at this. And then Mewtwo took me 30 minutes. So it was a good time. It was exhausting, but I'm planning on doing a couple more of those runs in the future. So if you guys want to see me mauled about how bad Mewtwo or Pichu or Kirby is, follow me on Twitch. I'm going to be doing that a little more often.
Oh, and then a tease for people who continue to say outside of the community, where is this whole ranked mode for Melee? When is that coming out? Ranked is coming out soon. All right. We'll catch y'all next week.